Flight attendants have had to face being defined as sex objects on the job. There was a time when there were ads that were things like, "I'm Cheryl, fly me," or "I'm Amber, fly me all the way to Mexico." And hot pants and go-go boots, and that was the image to the public. And that was what we had to face when people came to the door of the airplane. So we had to define our space, but it has been an issue. And in the past several months, I've talked with flight attendants about what their experience is. Are they still experiencing this sexism on the job, or sexual harassment, and even sexual assault? Every single one of them says at one point or another, yes, they have, and almost every single day to different degrees. A flight attendant who had been flying for just 6 months in a group from 6 months to 20 years said, "You know, I was a little taken aback when I first started flying, but then I sort of figured out that this is just part of the job and I have to deal with it."
Are there any official protocols that the airlines have for you when something like this happens to you?
So in my 22 years as a flight attendant, I have never experienced a conversation or any training points about how to deal with sexual harassment and sexual abuse.
Never?
Never. Not one time. So the airlines, as we looked into this, the airlines do have some policies around this. Some are better than others on having some guidelines. But in surveying our members last year, they said across the board that they were not aware of any specific guidelines that the airlines had in specifically dealing with sexual assault. My very first flight, I flew with a flight attendant who was about 35 years senior. So that would have been over 55 years ago that she started flying. And she said to me, she said, "No one is going to look out for you or care about you other than your other flying partners. No one is going to have respect for you other than your other flying partners. The management here thinks of you as their wives or their mistresses, and they hold you in contempt. You always remember that. But if we stick together, we can achieve good contracts, we can achieve improvements in pay, and we can fight their perception of us." And that has always stuck with me.
Why do you think more CEOs or leadership of airlines have not come forward to talk about this?
The airline industry is run by men. There's not a single woman who serves as a CEO in the airline industry. And I think that this is a moment in time where men are a little bit confused about what to do and what to say, and a little bit scared too. And this is not something that we have talked about before. This has been a virtually overnight change. We want to work with the industry. Our message to them is work with us now. There's no way we can go back and fix what happened before, but we do need to denounce that era and set a new marker here and move forward with clear parameters to address the issue.